A sense of capital. Aloha, ladies and gents, welcome back to a new episode of A Sense of Capital Stock News. Your host of today, as always, is Julian, and I'm very glad to have you in, guys. Guys, promise you this time the episode will be quite compact. It was quite silent during the past week. However, before we jump right into the information and all the updates regarding the companies you love and I love, quick disclaimer as always, in the upcoming minutes that will not be financial advice, consultation whatsoever, and there's no guarantee for correctness of the provided data. Okay guys, as always we will go through the regular order of the companies. Today we will cover in the calendar week 39 episode Alfen. We will go on with NU+SENTINELONE and finalize the session with StoneCo out of Brazil. Okay, let's start with the first one, which is Alfen, the Dutch electric grid equipment provider. We talk about smart grid solutions, so substations basically, and trafo stations, EV charging solutions, and last but not least, energy storage solutions, as you can see here. And actually there's only one use, but it is a great one, but great on just a relative perspective, let's say like this. You can see there are new subsidies, so new funding programs existing in the Netherlands, in the home market of Alfen. And you can see here 57 million are available to boost EV charging infrastructure. Alfen is, of course, because it's the home market, very strong in this market. And you need to know that already now the EV sector is quite electrified, or the car sector is quite electrified in the Netherlands. However, the government decided to push more money into it and reactivate the overall business, because it was a little bit on hold, like more or less in a lot of countries in Europe. So from last Tuesday on, 24th of September, there are 42 million available for subsidies for EV chargers and 50 million available for battery storage systems. Honestly, I don't assume it will be the battery storage systems, the industrial ones, which is getting provided by Alfen, but the 42 million can get definitely addressed to product solutions for Alfen. So that's definitely lifting up the business. You can see here that small and medium enterprises getting supported by 40% of the costs, and larger companies with 20%. So it's a B2B subsidy. And yes, you might think, okay, but it doesn't seem so much, but you need to keep in mind it's 40% or 20% of the overall volume. So it's not the potential retail turnover of, let's say, 42 million. It's way more, maybe 200, 340, 500 million euros, which getting accelerated by this. And I guess a lot of different kind of companies are waiting for this kind of subsidies, are aware of the start of the subsidy, and the budget will very likely, I expect, getting empty soon, let's say it like this. So it's definitely an accelerator, and what is for me at least more important is the message behind it. So governments in Europe and Netherlands starting right now are interested to reallocating and pushing the sustainable, the renewable sector with this kind of subsidies. So that's definitely a great statement, and I hope that will not be the last one in Netherlands and not the last one in Europe. And I'm quite confident about this as well, actually, because these kind of subsidies need to take place to make sure that the population, those markets and the industrial sector accepting and pushing EVs forward. That's it already for Alfen, and now we will go on with the next company, and that is NU+, the digital Brazilian bank out of Brazil, which is active as well in Mexico and of course Colombia. You can see here they have classic digital accounts, credit card business, but as well insurances, insurances and further services, banking business, and even other products, let's say like this. I mean, it's kind of a super app. However, that's not what I want to focus today. News are not that heavy, however, they are a little bit interesting because I want to show you that NU is really kind of a super app and really strong involved in a lot of different processes and cooperating with a lot of companies, like for instance Apple. So as you very likely know, Apple recently released their iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro version of the smartphone, and so NU has a special deal that you can purchase those smartphones pre-sale, so earlier than regular launch of those products through NU. And if you do this, you get special conditions, especially when you use NU Pay, their payment product, and of course get even special pricing solutions if you purchase it via installments, via debit or credit, as you can see here. And even the older ones, iPhone 13, 14 and 15 and other accessories or equipment, accessories, hope I pronounced it correctly, are discounted and available with cheaper prices basically, and free shipping. And you can see here 24 fixed month installments are available. So I'm not sure how strong this feature is. Of course, it's definitely yeah, I mean, when people are hungry for this but can't this kind of product and can't afford an iPhone, that's definitely a great catch. But yeah, I hope those who purchase it through this option, they are financially stable enough at least. And yeah, it's not it's not a too strong capitalistic procedure or offer, let's say it like this. Even though I'm a very capitalistic person, I think this kind of offers can be very dangerous for single persons. However, it's great that they're offering the citizens over there this kind of solutions. Yeah, and let's see how this will work out. But definitely good news for the brand. And another one, second news in terms of NU, the digital bank, is that they launch an ETF based on the Ibovespa B3 BR Plus index. Yeah. And so what is this kind of index? So there have been regular indexes in the market which cover just the regular in Brazil headquartered companies, the large ones, and through you can invest into the whole Brazilian market. But this BR Plus index is covering even Brazilian companies who are not listed at the Brazilian stock exchange, but listed, for instance, at the Nasdaq. The same like NU, for instance, yeah, or StoneCo. And so it's a little bit the regular stock index plus additional Brazilian companies which are listed in foreign countries. And NU decided in their asset management department to launch an ETF on this new index. Yeah. So as you can see, a moment ago we talked about some special conditions if you purchase iPhones through the NU payment app, and you use debit or credit functions of NU. And now a moment later we talk about NU's asset management launched a new ETF for customers or investors over there. So very, very interesting in my perspective. And another news in terms of NU and in terms of the Latin American markets, you can see it here, Mexico, the interest rate. Hi, Lone Mover Man, thank you very much for the smiley, for the emoji. Appreciate, nice that you joined. But let's go on. You can see a Mexico interest rate dropped by the latest decision 3 days ago from 10.75% to 10.5%. So it's still a strong high. You can see how the stairs getting built from 2022 on. However, it was quite stable, and I like that they now decrease in an ongoing procedure the Mexican interest rates. Definitely adding value and beneficial for the citizens over there, for the economy, and of course as well for NU as a bank. Okay, covered right now. covered right now new, and now we will almost step to the finish line and talk about SentinelOne. SentinelOne, this news for you maybe doesn't mean too much, but I like it very much. I mean, first of all, who's SentinelOne? SentinelOne is a provider of endpoint security, cloud security, and identity security solutions, and as well a provider of data and AI service processing or processing services, let's say like this. And the only news I want to set the focus on today is here. SentinelOne named the leader in 2024 Gartner Magic Quadrant for endpoint protection platforms. So you need to know that Gartner is basically an analyze company, a research company, and it's active in the IT sector. And they have this kind of magic quadrant, which is trademarked by them. And you can see it here, how it looks. I hope you can see it. Wait, I go a little bit down. I think that's a little bit better for you. Yeah, I know it's very small. The other ones will be a little bit larger. But what they have is that they basically have a quadrant. And this is, or the square is separated in 4 sub-squares. And you can see this axis, this y-axis is directed to ability to execute, yeah, as a company, and then we have this x-axis, which is the completeness of the vision, yeah. So really of the product of the company itself and how they roll it out. And you can see that we only focus right now on the endpoint solutions, endpoint protection solutions, which is the bread and butter market for SentinelOne and as well for the major direct competitor CrowdStrike. And you can see here that is the quadrant of 2021. You can see Microsoft and CrowdStrike have been listed as the leaders, way far with a strong gap attached to the next one, which is Trend Micro, and then SentinelOne, and then even McAfee was listed there, as you can see, and a lot of different players, as you see here, yeah. So a lot of different players. So now we go into the next year, 2022, as you can see here. Wait, I hope it works. And yeah, okay, it looks good. And you can see that SentinelOne basically accelerated and took over Trend Micro, which was before on rank 3. Now SentinelOne is on rank 3, and another player like CyberEason is following very closely. But however, the gap getting less strong and the overall number of vendors of cybersecurity solutions getting decreased. And now the one of last year, so we're getting closer and closer to the most current one. And you can see here that one more time Trend Micro gets again a little bit closer. Palo Alto Networks came out of nowhere. I think they purchased a player in endpoint protection solutions. That's the reason why they now have been on the surface. However, even the gap getting closer and closer, yeah, as you can see here. And CrowdStrike overtook and positioned as rank number 1 when you compare it to Microsoft, yeah. So they took the lead actually. And then now we come to the most current one, which is 2024, and you can see it right here. That was publicated a few days ago. Hi, my Ringit Investing. Thank you very much for joining. However, let's go on. As you can see here, CrowdStrike and Microsoft are really step by step, yeah, very close to each other when we talk about their ability to execute and as well their completeness of vision in terms of their solutions and the company overall. But what you can see as well on the first glance, even less players like the years before, yeah. So very likely a lot of acquisition is going on in this business, yeah. The big companies sucking out the smaller ones. But for me, the message as a SentinelOne investor is that you can see how close now, compared 2023 to 2024, how close SentinelOne is next to Microsoft and CrowdStrike. And I mean, Magic Quadrant, Gartner is really a well-established and reputed company and a research house, yeah. So it's not just a joke on the side or something like this, yeah. So there's really a lot of expertise involved, and if SentinelOne is rated as good as this, as you can see here, that at least creates a little bit, it removes my concerns, let's say it like this, because you read a lot of times in the internet, CrowdStrike is way better than SentinelOne, something like this. And you can see, at least when we focus endpoint protection platforms, yeah, so the core business again of CrowdStrike and SentinelOne, they are very close to each other, and really depends on the specific project if CrowdStrike takes the lead or SentinelOne. But of course you should not forget others are developing as well, especially when we set the focus on Palo Alto Networks, a very large player, the largest cybersecurity player actually in the world, with a lot of other products, so a lot of synergies potentially, and of course Trend Micro. Okay guys, and now that's already it for SentinelOne, and now really we are almost done and focus just a quick aspect in terms of StoneCo and the Brazilian market. So let's go back and just quick introduction. StoneCo, as you can see here, primary business are their point of sale solution. They provide as well financial services like credit and loan business, and of course ERP solutions, software solutions, so digital warehouse solutions, which getting connected to their point of sales terminals, and with which you can manage your whole stuff in your, for instance, pharmacy, supermarket, furniture store, whatsoever. But what I want to focus is that StoneCo is cooperating with an institution, with a Brazilian institute, and because they have that strong insights with their software solutions and especially with their point of sales terminals into the Brazilian market, they have an own index, let's say it like this. And here it's written in Portuguese language, so it's difficult for me to understand as well, honestly guys. But here is the original website. You can see here the institute is Instituto Propague. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, very likely not. But what I want to highlight is that after the last month, the development which was negative, now the growth re-accelerated in Brazil. You can see it here, retail sales volume grow by 1.2%, and comparing it to 1 year ago to the period, it grew by 2.5% overall. Doesn't seem that much, but look guys, if you think or you estimate, the market estimates, last month was -1, now it will go down and down, and you need to know that the interest rate in Brazil in general is increasing, yeah, not decreasing like in the US or like in Europe, for instance. So it can create kind of a very toxic cocktail, and to see this kind of positive market development, macroeconomical development, so a growth of the retail volume is definitely a positive one. Guys, if you have some time, you can check out, I mean, it's for free, you can download it very easy on their website. The actual report, it's not that much, just 10 pages and a lot of design, but you can check out here as well the different sectors, pharmaceuticals, clothing, for instance, you hear furniture, whatsoever, food, what went up, what went down. You can see food grew the most, so people are really looking for going out, dining, this kind of stuff. Definitely a good sign, I think. You can see some even further stats and more details about what is going on, and of course you have information, and you can see here, I mean, Brazil is a very, very large market. I'm not sure how much, but I think we're talking about the population of roughly 250 million, and you can see it's definitely quite diversified, and there are markets when we talk about the retail volume or regions, with this one here which decreased by, it's called Rondonia, I have no idea. It decreased by almost 10%, the retail volume, yeah. But on the other hand, we have another state which is called Roraima, and it increased almost by 13%, yeah. So some states are really developing great, others not, but overall we have an upside, a positive result of this already stated 1.2%. And guys, that's it already for today. And as always, if it was okay and you enjoyed this episode, feel free to like this video, to subscribe to the channel, to follow me on X, on Instagram and on Reddit. Highly appreciate this, keeps me motivated for sure. It's kind of a small payment for the work I am investing in, and hope in general it was beneficial for you. Yes, Lawnmower Man, because Lawnmower Man here in the chat, he's writing a bit worried with StoneCo, but that's positive sign at least. Yeah, I can relate to this. I mean, I think the core business is still solid. You never know. I mean, diversification is important, and again, make always sure that you do your own research, and make sure you're not listening too much to me. But I still stick to StoneCo, even if it is my least preferred position in my stock portfolio. I think it's working well, and last week I talked about that they're planning to sell Links, so their software business, or largest part of their software business, and do the past and the not successful integration of the software business somehow. I guess it's the right decision to make a cut, and again, not sell it for nothing at the end in 2 or 3 or 5 years when it's really not worth anything anymore. Let's say it like this, if they managed it very, very bad. So, however, guys, I wish you a great upcoming week. We see each other next Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, or 5:30 p.m. Central European Time. Have a blast, take care of yourself, stay healthy, most important, and see you next time. Bye bye. A sense of capital.